Hey everyone, Voices here. I know I didn't make that many videos because I am really busy with my jobs and organizing many TFT tournaments that are coming really soon in August, and for the rest I've set 5-5. But I will still try to help you as much as I can with the tier list, the meta report for this patch. Let's do this. So, yes, the best comp in a game is still HIVT. If you do hit everything 2-star, there is only one comp that can basically kill you, and it is the next one that I will present. But this comp is super simple. You just play Draconic, Zyra. At 3-2, you roll for Nunu, Brand, Kalista, Zyra, Set, and Udyr. That's your level 6. At level 7, you can add Fiddle for 4 Abomination. You go to level 8 and you basically pivot to this unit right here. There's nothing special to it. It's just really strong. Heimer is just killing everything. Whenever Heimer doesn't kill, Teemo will. You have so much CC, so much frontline. With Invoker and Renewer, the Heimer is gonna cast multiple times. It is, of course, a higher composition because you do need to 2-star your Agenters in order to win the game, and you have more than one. But if you do hit even Heimer 2, you should be really aiming for the top one. The comp didn't change. I really like this positioning here, cropped on either one corner or the other, depending on where you need to be. But tanky items on the Abomination, that didn't change. Shojin, Archangel, Gauntlet on Heimer. As far as Radiant items, if you do need tank items or utility, I would put it on the Abomination. Sunfire, Ionic, Bramble, Declaw, Redemption, they all work great on the Abomination as well. If you have one of those and you have already tank damage, go for it. If you have any remaining mana items, you will either go on Gwen, especially if it's a blue buff, or on the Teemo if it's more damage based. Maybe another Archangel, something like that. That's basically the comp. And the rats. So there's so many different variations of this. This is just one of them that I like. You know, it's just Tristana plus Kennen. You just reroll Poppy, Tristana, Kennen, Lulu if you can. Miss Fortune sometimes if you do hit it. Go for it. It's also great. She will do insane amount of damage. The only thing that matters here is getting your Tristana items and then the Morello and Kennen. Those are like the must that you need for this composition. You go to level 6. This is just the Knight version. You don't have to have Knight. If it's 6 aliens, you just roll with Senna as well and Kled. You go to 6, you 3-star your Tristana, you 3-star your Kennen, you go to level 7, if you're close to it, you 3-star the Lulu and DMF. Any remaining item, by the way, will go on DMF, Archangel, Shojin, you know, whatever it is. And yeah, as far as items, those are the best in slot by far. If you do not hit the Revenants, IE is also fantastic. It's just I really like hitting multiple units. If you do get the Radiant Revenants, it's a first. It's honestly a first. There's nothing that will be able to deal with the Tristana, especially if you have BT. Radiant BT is insane also. Yeah, positioning, you need to put everything backline. And the reason for that is that you need room for the Tristana to be able to be safe in a backline. Also, once she does jump, you would like the Kennen to be able to save her if needed, which is why they are on the same side. If Lulu has a mana item, she can cast her, giving even more attack speed to the Tristana, just in case you need more damage. That's basically the idea of this comp. Everything backline, Tristana and Kennen on the same side. Tristana killing everything at 3-star. Definitely S tier, probably S plus to be honest. We need to talk about 6 Sentinel. So I will mention this composition in S tier just because it is so consistent at top 4. Okay, it is not really a top 1 composition. You can definitely top 1 if you do have action items, basically, when you're gonna pivot out. But I refer to this composition more on a top 4 level because the 6 Sentinel at level 6 and 7 is just so good that you just basically win like so many fights that you will be guaranteeing the top 4. Revenant being the best front line in the late game, you play those. You just play the best Sentinel unit, Solution being a damage dealer. If you do go really late into the game, you can put those items on the Ashcan and have an Aphelios instead. Drop to 3 Sentinel and have some units like Gwen, Fiddle for Mystic, stuff like that for the very, very late game. But as a standard level 8, if you do have everything here, yeah, you should be top 4 rank for sure. A really good composition for that. Yasuo. Yasuo is still very, very strong. I do prefer the sustain now over Gauntlet, which is why I put Hand of Justice here. The goal of the comp is still the same. You go to level 7, you 3-star your Yasuo, the Listen. If you can 3-star Sejuani Aurelia, great. If not, it's totally fine. You need Legionnaire with Aurelia being the best. 4 Nightbringers as base, just because your 2 carries are basically Nightbringers. Rel for Cavaliers for the Sejuani. You know, there is nothing too special about this either. I really like that you have basically 3 carries, being Yasuo, Lee Sin, and Jax, because Jax will have Skirmisher, so it will do a ton of damage. Yeah, this is definitely top 1 composition. Go to level 7, 3-star those 2, go to level 8, add Gwen or another utility frontline. You're basically good to go. 4 Knight Jax. This comp popped off so hard in the EU qualifiers in the semifinals. Every time it was played, it almost every single time top 4. It is very, very strong mid game. It's also carrying in a late game, just because you have 2 carries again, Jax, Nidalee, potentially the Galio or the Viego. It's just so strong. I feel like it's actually underrated. If you do not play Jax, you should really definitely consider playing it, because it's really good. The idea again is tanky items on the Galio because it will be your best knight. And you need those specific items on the Jax. I do believe that those are the best in slot. You can have RFC, you can have IE, but overall this will serve you better against any other team that you will face. As far as Velcros items, again, tanky items if you need, meaning that you have already your carry items, take the tanky one, otherwise take the carry one. Redemption is fantastic because you get a lot of value out of it. The fights here are supposed to last long, so Redemption, Sunfire, Yannick Spark, all of those are going to be great items in the late game. Remaining items should go on the Viego. If it's mana, if it's damage, it should go here. Really good comp. I do believe it is at the bottom of Ace tier right now. But it is so consistent that I have to put it there. Definitely play it. And now we're gonna enter the A tier. I wouldn't say that MF Reor is on top, but she's definitely high up there in the A tier. The reason why she's A tier is because Tristana Reor is carrying this comp really hard. There's not much you can do about it. Because the Trash is gonna work up here, the Nautilus will work up, the MF is going to be down versus Tristana that's just gonna shred her. That's the only reason why it's in ATR, but this comp is still insane. It's still the same goal. You go to level 6, you 3-star all of these units, you go to level 7, you 3-star MF. and it's just a matter of keeping your 4 Forgotten Free Cavaliers as base. The rest is pretty flex. I like Vigo Diana, of course, just because they have great backline access and can give you so much time for them to cast again and again. Rel for Cavaliers and Ironclad since you're playing the Nautilus. It's pretty straightforward. It's still very, very good. If you do have an opponent with a bunch of Cavaliers and mana AP items, definitely consider playing this comp. Aphelios. So, this is just one variation of it, but he's very good. He's still very good. You do need to hit him 2-star. 1-star is pretty underwhelming. But with those items, he should definitely carry you. For these specific items, I do around the fact that you will hit the Ash Cancel. You do not need the Last Whisper, just because it will shred everyone for you, as well as the Gwen. Rageblade, just because you have 2 Rangers instead of 4, so he will really need that attack speed to be able to cast more. IEBT, healing and pure damage. WT can create, so IE is fantastic. Pretty straightforward. Again, Revenant frontline is the best. If you could add the unit here, Ivern would be fantastic. Yeah, that's it. Still very good. It's still A tier. I do not believe it's S tier anymore. But if you do get those kind of items, go for it. Aphelios is still a great carry. Velcros. So there are multiple ways to play him right now. I do believe that the most consistent and the one that I've seen the most in the high elo is this version, the Abomination Revenant version. It is very strong. The items on him are the same. Shojin, Gauntlet, Archangel, Rabadon is okay. I do believe that you would rather have one healing item, basically like Orion's Soul set. Yeah, other than that, tanky items on the Abomination, Revenant frontline, having 3 redeemed, and workers to help him cast even faster. Yeah. Clumped again, that's a little tip, because if you do group on one side, the same side of the Velcros, the units are gonna work towards you and towards the center, which is what you want for Velcros to be able to more units toward the center, because that's where he holds. So group as much as you can if you are playing Velcros, have the units work towards the middle, and you should be winning the fight. Definitely A tier, definitely play it. Riven. So there are so many variations of this. This is one of them. There are so many different items that you can build on her. This is just the attack speed, safe, kind of safe build that should be able to kill everything. You can definitely go more towards the IEBT kind of build that will do fantastic as well. Deathblade, Renance also are awesome together. Honestly, as long as it's attack speed and AD, especially with Last Whisper, Riven is gonna have more than enough damage. So for this comp, you need to 3-star multiple units, of course, or your free cost. Riven, Idari, Rakan would be best. If you can, Array and Soraka too, fantastic. Yeah, this is pretty much the way you play it. You go to 7, you put the AD attack speed item on the Riven, the tanky items on the Galio, or on the other knight before you hit him. And yeah, pretty solid comp. I think it's totally underrated right now, and you should definitely pick it up. Riven 3 is definitely slapping. It's at the top of A tier. Nocturne. We need to talk about him. It was doing pretty damn good in the EU qualifiers, in the semifinals, and it was kind of forgotten. That this is still an insane comp to play. If you do 3-star your Nocturne, you're in a really good spot. For Assassin, for Revenants, if you can get a synth spot, he will go straight on a Fiddle. That's fantastic on him. He was gonna do so much damage. It's insane. That will be the play for top 1, by the way. 6 assassin, 4 Revenant with the fiddle. And that's basically it. I like having the Gwen so it gets some more damage reduction. I do believe that Revenants and Last Whisper are best in slot. Deathblade is kind of flex. It's just going to be the most consistent damage. It can be IE, BT works okay. As long as it's a soul item ready, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. It is A tier around the top of it. Do not slip on Nocturne. If you do have other reroll composition in your lobby, especially free costs like Yasuo or Raven, and you get those items, you should consider rerolling it. The only thing to know about this comp is to not play assassins in the early game because, well, they suck. So just play anything else but assassins. But once you go level 7 and you see that you hit those items and the Nocturne, go for this composition, you won't regret it. And then there is Draven. He's still good. It's not great. I do believe we'll be at the bottom of A tier just because he's gonna do so much damage, right? But he's technically your only carry. Your only other carry is going to be Jax. And it's just, if the Draven gets lasered or hammerdingered or T-mode even, you're just gonna lose the fight. Because you don't have a great source of damage other than him. If you do play him with 4 Forgotten, and he lives long enough, you should be able to win a lot of fights, especially of those items. But yeah, if you do not hit the Aphelios or the other AD carry, basically Lucian, I would consider just playing Draven, play for top 4, play this composition, it's still really strong. And yeah, that's better than playing something at 1 star. That is it for this video, guys. Those are the best comps. Draconic Abomination at level 6, Reroll Rats at level 6 are the 2 best, I think, by kind of a margin. So I would suggest those 2 first. And then Lucian, Yasuo, and Raven will be the next ones. If you do have any questions, do let me know down in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.